Hello friends! As some of you may know if you saw my Instagram story post over the weekend, we had a pretty tough week last week. My husband came down with what we initially thought was some form of food poisoning that he'd gotten from work, and it turned out that we started being suspicious when a couple days after he was not feeling well, our toddler started throwing up and not feeling well, and then 2-3 days after that I got it. So we just had a pretty rough week overall. We were all not feeling our best and tired and not a fun time. And so thankfully we seemed to time it right. We weren't all sick at the same time, and there was always one adult that was mostly functioning to help with the toddler. But it was a bit rough, and I'm still not feeling 100%. I don't know if it's because I am 19 and a half weeks pregnant, if that's just sort of slowing down, delaying the full-on recovery process or whatnot. I never really got sick in my previous pregnancy, and so I'm assuming that probably has an impact on how quickly you do or don't recover, and stomach bugs are never fun. And it was rough. So I've been really wanting to do some filming, make a few videos, and I know that I basically lost a week's worth of knitting, so I don't really have a full knitting podcast's worth. So I thought, why not do a little vlog? I'm not sure if it'll be one day or several days or how I will work it out. But I thought, why not do a little vlog of sort of a slow, gentle recovery week after being sick. I've been trying to take it very, very easy. Eating is still a little bit weird. Things don't taste quite right. I don't know if you ever have it where you get sick and then things just taste a bit weird. I feel like that's kind of drawn out. Saturday was the day that I was really, really unwell, and then today is Tuesday, so that's been like 3 days, and that's what I mean, it's kind of weird. I'm still just kind of a little bit off. I still woke up kind of feeling weak and shaky and just really sleepy, and the time change on Sunday is not helping. We won't go into it. I don't like this time change, and the timing could have been a little more ideal this time around to begin with. Just been trying to take it very slow, doing one or two things each day, and not try and just kind of catch up on everything all at once. So yesterday I just kind of folded a couple of loads of laundry during nap time and just sat and did some knitting, and just really I'm trying to give my body the opportunity to rest and recover, and just really trying to focus on drinking and just being very, very gentle with my body, because I know that I'm growing another little human and that puts an additional stress on my body. Today I have done 2 or 3 different little tasks. You may hear the hum of the dryer or the dishwasher in the background. I just cleaned out the fridge and just mourned the loss of the food and just throw it away and start afresh, which is totally fine. Did that, I cleaned up the dishes, got the dishwasher going, tossed another load of laundry in the washing machine. Even though we are only currently a 3-person household, being sick generates the sheer volume of laundry, particularly like towels and things when your toddler's sick. It's insane. So I've been kind of gradually trying to catch up on some of the laundry. And that meant that for 2 or 3 days while I wasn't feeling well, the laundry just kind of sat unfolded in baskets, which was fine. Yesterday I folded it up, and it's not completely put away yet, but again, it's a slow and gentle process. That's kind of what this vlog is going to be about, is just taking care of your body and allowing yourself to recover. Even if there's parts of you that are just like, the house is a mess, must clean everything up. to just go slow and take it one little bit at a time. But for right now, I'm just gonna sit and do some knitting and watch a TV show. If you haven't heard of the TV show Leverage, I think it was made in the early 2000s. It is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I cannot tell you how many times I have watched and rewatched it. I initially found it when I was going through a pretty stressful and not fun period in my life, and it was on Netflix, and I watched like the whole thing and absolutely loved it. It is so, for the most part, like very clean. There's hardly any swearing. There's none of like the sex and nudity and all of that stuff. It's just a really entertaining, like it's a little bit goofy, silly, but it's a really entertaining sort of Robin Hood-esque vibe to it. It's about this group of 5 people. I think it's 5 people. I'm not going to try and figure it out straight off. But it's this group of people that are, in a way, they're criminals, but what I mean by the Robin Hood-esque is that they are going after like the big evil corporations and the rich people that are scamming other people or hurting other people. So they're going after the bad guys for the sake of the good guys, and it's silly and fun and mostly like overall lighthearted. There are some sadder bits and stuff to it, but just it's very silly. And I really enjoy something like that. And again, since I've watched it so many times, it's very familiar. I know exactly what's going to happen. And so there's no stress, there's no drama. Like, it's just, And while I do that, I'm going to be doing some knitting. So I'm going to show you some of the projects that I've been working on. One of the main things that I've been really trying to work on the last, well, yesterday mainly, is to get my Lauder vest test knit done. This was the thing that I was the most worried about when I realized that I was missing out on day after day of knitting, is getting this done. The deadline for this test knit is on the 20th, so I have about just over a week, I think. And right now I've finished off, I'm sorry the lighting's not the best. I'm not right next to the window like I normally am, so it's not the best. But I have finished off both of my arm bands, so all I have left is finishing off the body. And I've actually done a decent amount. I've got, I don't know how much that is, but I've got a decent amount. I'm going to work a little bit more, like maybe another inch or 2 or something, and then I need to try it on or measure it up to one of my other sweaters. I know it's gonna grow some when I block it, and it's probably gonna stretch out a little bit. Yeah, I think I still have a few more inches of just the cabled pattern, and then I have the bottom ribbing. So I'm getting really close, and I was a little bit stressed that I wasn't gonna be able to get it done in time, but I think I'll be okay. I think I'll be able to get it done and we'll be good to go. So I'm really trying to work on that, but having seen that I am well on my way, if I can get maybe 1 or 2 pattern repeats done, I might do a little cheat knitting and work on a couple of other projects. I have a simple stockinette sock project on the go that I'm working on that I really love. I'm kind of refinding my sock knitting mojo, if you will. So I might work a few rows on that, and then I have one other sweater project that, I just want to work on this so badly. I've hardly been able to touch it since I cast it on in December, and we're now in March. But I've been really, really, really itching to get back to it. And then I have this test knit, so I'm trying to get that done. But I might work a couple rows on this, which is my Crescendo Summer Top sweater that I am making out of Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. yarn. And I'm really close to being done with the lace chart, and then it'll be really simple from there on out. It's a lot of stockinette and just really mindless, which after this very textured, cable heavy pattern, I am so ready for a very simple, laid back, relaxed sort of a project. So I'm really excited about it. But yeah, I've been really, really wanting to get back to this project, but pretty much all of my knitting has been on hold except for my Lauder vest. And then I have another knitting project coming up that's going to have a deadline. I'm not sure if I can talk about it just yet. I've got to check and make sure. But that's coming up pretty quickly here, so I'll probably really focus all of my knitting time on that. But yeah, so I'm just going to sit. We're going to do a little bit of knitting, and I might check back in with you later today. We're probably going to try and go outside. The next couple of days are supposed to be really lovely weather. And that's another thing I'm trying to do for myself, is sit out in the sunshine, let my toddler run around and do his thing, and just breathe in some fresh air, get the sunlight, like all that stuff. So let's get this show turned on, because this is one of my favorite episodes. At this time, I'm not watching it through consecutively. I'm just picking out the episodes that I want to watch, and I'm loving it. So let's get to it. I ended up making this super simple, super easy homemade mac and cheese recipe. It's so good. And I love it because it's completely like whole food, whole ingredients. It's just got milk and Parmesan cheese, and then you make like a roux with some butter and flour. It's so good. I've added some rotisserie chicken to mine, a good bit, to try and up the protein. I was just planning to do some noodles for my toddler for lunch because he loves noodles, but then I realized I could do full-on mac and cheese and make it better. But he's been asleep for over 2 hours now, so I'm going to try and eat this quickly, clean up a bit, and finish off my Leverage episode that I was watching. It's one of my favorites, before he wakes up, so... Hello friends, time for a little bit of a check-in. I'm just trying on my Lauder vest for the first time and I love it. I think I still need to do like maybe 2 or 3 inches for the body before I start the ribbing, but it's so perfect. Like, it's very fitted, which I wanted. Like, I wanted a very fitted fit because I know that with pregnancy and nursing and everything, my body is a little bit, my bust size and stuff are a little bit bigger than they will be once I'm postpartum and whatnot. And so I wanted it to be a pretty 2 measurement fit, which is what it seems to be at the moment. And I really love it. I love how the neckline is fitting. It's not too close to my neck at all. It's just, I think it's perfect. And it will, I think, relax some when I block it. But I'm really loving it. As I mentioned previously in the video for this vlog, being sick and stuff meant that I lost like a week's worth of knitting on this. So I do actually only have, I have less than a week now, I think, of time before the tussening deadline. So I'm hoping like today, tomorrow, I can get a couple, 2-3 more inches done on the body and then do the body ribbing. I need to check and see how much ribbing it calls for in the body. Because I can't remember. I can't remember if it's similar to like the armholes, which is like an inch or so, or if it's like a good 3-4 inches of ribbing. I'm not sure. Once I get to the ribbing will fly off the needles because I won't even have to pay attention to it. It's just the cables are pretty slow now, but I'm loving it. It looks so good. I love this color, and it actually, I didn't think it would, but it works with this dress because this is just one of the, well, you'll see or have seen, the smocked sheared top dresses or whatever, and it actually looks really cute with it. I really like it. But yeah, because I had the realization that it's already getting way too warm here in Kentucky. There's no way that I'm going to need to wear full-on long sleeve flannel dresses. It's already like, today it's supposed to get up to almost 80, and I know there's going to be a couple more cold days here and there, but at this point I'd rather just pack the winter clothes away and get all my spring stuff out and just keep a cardigan or sweater or something handy. But yeah, so that's the knitting update. It's been a couple days since I last filmed anything. Well, not a couple days. Today is Thursday. And it's just been a rough recovery, guys. I don't know what it is. Well, and then also I've had some pregnancy insomnia kicking back in, which is just lovely. So I don't know if you can tell. I'm sure I look it, but I'm very tired. And it's just, that's I think the biggest pregnancy symptom that I've had so far, and I'm halfway through, which is weird. It's going so much faster. But the biggest symptom that I've had is fatigue and low energy. Just nothing there. And so recovering from being sick, I feel like that's even more so amplified. But that's okay. We're just going to have another really slow, chill day. I decided we're just going to do like chicken salad with some rotisserie chicken for supper. Because that's the other thing. Trying to figure out food and food prep has been even more of a struggle this week, with just trying to recover from being sick and then just being exhausted, tired. It's been interesting. But we're just gonna have a really simple supper because it's supposed to be so hot today. I didn't want to like heat the oven up and heat the whole house up because we're really trying not to turn our air conditioning on yet. I like to hold off on that as long as possible. It makes me feel a little better. But yeah, so I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna knit. I've got a couple of knitting podcasts to catch up on. I've got laundry and stuff to fold, but I think it'll make me feel better if I prioritize a little bit of knitting time, since this is like a deadline knitting project. If I prioritize a little bit of knitting time, and then if I have time before baby Tam wakes up, I'll fold some laundry. But man, it's been a struggle, but we'll get there. I think that it'll just take another week or two, because I think that this is teaching me that recovering from being ill while you're pregnant is a whole different ball game than when you're not pregnant. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to some knitting, but quickly, I just wanted to, as I showed you, this is what I use instead of the, I think they're called barber cords. You can just get this whole pack of 60 feet of this cord for $2.50, at least that's when I bought it last year from Hobby Lobby. They may have increased the price, but around about $5 or less for a whole giant pack of this stuff. And I'm just so grateful. Somebody recommended it to me on a comment on a video like a year or so ago. I just kept putting it off because it was one of those things where it was like, oh, it's another like $3 to spend at Hobby Lobby or Joann or whatever. And I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I am so glad I finally just bit the bullet and did it. Because it's very, very convenient, and I'm so grateful that it is not the insanely expensive $20 for 3 or 4 cords that you can get from, I guess, the official cords. And it works just as well, in my opinion, not having used the official version. But yes, it is very, very convenient for trying things on. Anyway, let's get this back on the needles and do some knitting.